Hi everyone, welcome to my channel, Empress Aries 888. My name is Tanya. Please like on the way in. Gives me an energetic donation to the channel, helps me tune into YOU. Flip the roles as you see fit. Take what resonates from this reading and leave the rest. And let's call in spirit. Let's get this party started. Spirit guides and angels of your whitest light, please give me a clear message for the collective, one that brings healing, hope, and understanding of their situation. Protect me as I open myself up to channel and protect my beautiful collective. My beautiful collective. It is evening where I am, but this is timeless reading. So whenever you press that play button, yeah, there's a message. There's a message. So let's do a little bit of Reiki. I know it's late, but I'm going to do it anyways. Do some black obsidian. A couple of passes of that. My selenite stick for cleansing, grounding. Pass through there as well. Manifestation stone, clear quartz. Manifest, set your intentions as I'm setting mine for this reading to have understanding and possible closure for those that are looking for it. We also have a beautiful black tourmaline for protection as well as grounding. There you go. For those that need it. And I'm going to use my new moonstone. Beautiful rough moonstone with a point at the ends. I love it. And this is for so many things that this moonstone does for guidance, dreams, good fortune, fertility, lucid dreams. We're going to go into that. Let's do this. It actually helps you to focus on and remember your dreams as well as travel, dream traveling, astral projection, remembering your dreams and controlling your dreams, like how you dream or what you're dreaming about. That's the moonstone. And I feel like somebody did a no-no, almost like divination abuse. They try to, go into somebody's Akashic records without permission and change or control the destiny. It was almost like they wanted to know whether or not this person was for them, and they wanted to make a decision, but they wanted to know for sure. So they tried to go into the Akashic records to find out which choice would be the better choice, and yeah, Spirit was not happy about it at all. So let's ring the gong. If you have any sound sensitivity, please lower your volume in 3, 2, 1. There you go. Hang on for a second. All right, so because of this, they're being punished. All right, let's get into it. We got a few things. I got the Kipperish here. Okay, I got the Kipperish, and I have also Moonology that I'm focusing on in 3 tarots. So let's go into one of the tarots first and see what's going on with that, Spirit. And I feel like it was to control their future. They wanted to know if this person was the right one, possibly you, if this was about you. But it was, I don't know, it's like, I'm not sure if people should or could go into somebody's Akashic records and try to see what their future is. And it wasn't something that I'm hearing. It was abuse of their gifts, because it could have been lucid dreams, could have been it was like a sneaky way they were trying to do it, because they wanted to know if this person was the right one for them. They wanted to like go into the future and see which person or choice would be more prosperous for them. It was done in the wrong way, and they got blocked, and also they got punished, is what I'm hearing. Spirit, give me a message, please, about this. Thank you. 3 of Cups, Lord of Abundance. So this person in Cups, astrologically, I will mention it, but I've always been under the assumption, or not even an assumption, it's my belief system that it's my belief that a person is more than just an astrological sign, because you can have more than one, even if it's not in your chart, sun, moon, rising, Venus. You can display any astrological sign depending on your mood or your situation or circumstances. But if people like that, because tarot and astrology are very synonymous at times, Scorpio, Pisces, Cancer is the cups. And cups can also represent emotions. So this is the Lord of Abundance. So this person also could be in like a third party situation. Or this is where I have 2 choices and I don't know which one to make. That's going to make me the Lord of Abundance. Because I feel like it was all about the Benjamins for this person. Give me a couple of other cards. So it wasn't done in the right way. Like, I don't know if I want to make a decision. Like, I don't know which choice to make based on love. It was based on money. Justice, yeah. And it was the wrong decision, because Spirit was like, it's abuse in a sense, and it was for the wrong reasons that you were doing it, and therefore they were blocked from knowing that. They did make a decision, I believe, but it was not based on any true knowledge. It was based on what they would project as abundant. Yeah, the foolish man, the spirit of ether or ether, can refer to both spiritual and chemical concept. Spiritual aspect and spirituality is often called the 5th element, symbolizing connection between the physical and spiritual. It carries profound significance and represents the bridge between the worlds. And chemical is the spirit of ether, refers to a solution used traditionally as an anodyne or hypnotic, consisting of ether and alcohol. This compound was introduced by Frederick Hoffman and has historical significance in medicinal practices. So they could have been using something as a hypnotic, or trying to hypnote. Yes. They did something in a foolish way. And that's what I'm saying, excuse me, the foolish man, ether. So they were trying to use something to chemically either induce lucid dreams or control a person chemically. And it was foolish, Spirit was saying. Justice is here because of that. The Magician's here as well. Okay, so the Magician is here. Somebody that was manifesting knowledge, somebody that was, it was almost as if like in the Bible it talked about the Garden of Eden and the tree of knowledge. It was like they wanted to learn something that they weren't privy to. It wasn't something that was at this time going to be given to them. And because they couldn't push Spirit farther, they tried to do it go under the radar, is what I'm hearing. Could have been a Knight of Pentacles that did this. What does it say? Lord of the wild and fertile lands. They wanted to, like, the Knight is usually a slow moving, but this one looks like they're at war. This one looks like they're trying to cut through. They're trying to have knowledge, but it wasn't something that they were ready for or even given the go ahead to do. And look, Justice, daughter of the Lord of Truth, yeah. 7 of Swords, Lord of unstable effort. There you go. So they were doing this in a deceptive way. And it wasn't because, oh, I want to know which one to love. It was just which one's going to help me prosper. Yeah. And that's why in the yin and the yang is here, the Justice. Ooh. And they really like pissed off the universe, spirit, their spirit guides even. It was like they were doing it in an altered state too. Like either through alcohol or drugs. They were trying to get into a lucid state so that they could look into somebody's Akashic records or future prophecies. Like what would happen if they went with this one? What would happen if they went with that one? Oh my God. Going into each person's future prosperity is what I'm hearing. Oh Lord. A new start is coming, the moon. And it's like almost like eclipsed where they can't see. They couldn't see a truth. A new start is coming, Spirit. Yeah, maybe because of that, you had to be moved away from this person. Adjustments are required. There you go. Yep. There you go. Adjustments were required because of what they did. The answers you need are coming. Full moon in Gemini. Gemini could be important. 2 could be important. Communication is key. New moon in Gemini. So there could be a Gemini here. Yes. Adjustments are required. Communication is key. And I feel like communication is going to be key as far as listening to your, what is it called? Your spirit guides who are trying to talk to you in like the 5D. The answers you need are coming. Maybe you didn't understand why something ended, but there's a duality here. There could even be like a mirroring of sorts, but Gemini could be important, which is an air sign. Yeah. Nothing will come of this situation. So they could have lost their, if this was a twin flame, they could have lost their status by doing this with you. There could be a new person coming in based on what they did, this fuckery. Spirit might have put the kibosh down and said, I'm not playing this game with this person. They had no right to look into your Akashic records. They had no right to try to make a decision based on like pettiness or based on something, frivolities or frugalities. I don't even know what the hell they're talking about, but something where it was just about money, or it was really like kind of a terrible thing to do. Base something on money, but then to go so far as to get into somebody's dream state or Akashic records or astral planing, astral projecting, looking into somebody's future. Yeah, timeline travel, timeline jumping is what I'm hearing. This went really far. This person thought they had the right, almost like they were playing God. The Spirit's like, yeah, that's not happening. You, sir, you, ma'am, you're no God. And they cut them off. Spirit, give me some information on this. Nothing will come of the situation. What's that about, Spirit? I feel like nothing good came out of it. Yes, 8 of Wands. It's like it really like blocked this person or like pigeonholed them into a corner with Spirit. Spirit was like, now you're locked in. Now you are not moving. Now you are not getting what it is that you were trying to seek. First of all, the knowledge of these 2 individuals' projected futures or abundance, and you're not even going to get it if it is the twin flame that you did this to. You're not going to even get that. What is it? That elevation. You're not going to get that union, and you're not even going to get that title anymore. That's what I'm hearing. Chariot moved you out of a situation with this person based on their divination abuse. Balance. It's all about justice with Spirit. It's like the scales had to be balanced. This person was doing the most, and really in a very selfish way. And so Spirit was like, to balance the scales, this person had to be taken out of the situation. They were no longer going to have access to you. They were blocked from you, blocked from any knowledge of your future blessings, and blocked from being a part of it. That's what I'm hearing, because of what they did. Yeah. 2 of Swords. It was a choice that they made. based on blind information. Like when you see most tarot cards that show the Two of Swords, it's usually the person's blindfolded. This person's looking almost like they're speaking to the birds or communicating with somebody. They're looking in a certain direction, thinking that that's the direction they need to go. But it wasn't based on anything but material things. It wasn't based on love. If this person could do more for me, that's the one I'm going to go with. And that's why Spirit put the kibosh on it. No, you're not doing that. You're not screwing over a chosen one. If you don't want that person, that's fine. But you're not going to play games and try to like manipulate a situation or even try to, look into the future and see what would work for you. It's not about that. No. Four of Cups. They were given the opportunity, the blessing, the cup, the blessing was you. They were given the opportunity to be with the person that would have made their life better. But they were looking at all the other, not even really looking at the other options. They were just thinking, it's sort of like a person who has a lot in life, but they're not appreciative of it. They want more. Oh, I have all of these, I have all these cups, but I want more. They're all flowing, overflowing, but what about, there's always, I could always have more. Why can't I have everything? And that was the selfishness of this person. And they didn't even see that there was the cup, a special cup here in the corner there. They didn't even pay attention to it because they weren't even interested in all of the cups that they had in front of them. So why would they appreciate you if all these other options that they had, they didn't even care about? They're not going to take care of the special gift that the universe was offering them. So it got taken out. Yeah, justice again. Justice is here. Justice for you. A balancing of the scales. If this person couldn't appreciate you, you're going to go someplace where you are going to be appreciated because it was a deception. It was a sneaky, deceptive thing to do. And if that's the kind of character that this person has, they don't deserve an earth angel like yourself. Any other card, Spirit, about this individual that was abusing? Yeah, tried to flip, I think, over here. Ten of Pentacles, oh God. Yeah, they lost out on the Ten of Pentacles being sneaky and deceptive. Not understanding that there's certain things that Spirit is not going to reveal to you, and only in due time are you able to have access to certain information. They wanted to know it now, yesterday. And Spirit was like, no. And not only are you not going to know, you're not going to get it. Because I think it was something that was really harmful they were doing. It could have changed timelines. It could have, maybe that's what they were trying to do. Like maneuver a person that they had this choice. You were the earth angel and there was another choice. Somebody that was a karmic, say. And they were trying to change or swap destinies with the karmic and you so that they could have everything they wanted in one person, in one situation. And Spirit was like, you were not to harm my chosen one. And because you tried to play a game like that, and you tried to control a narrative, swap destinies or good fortunes, and so that it benefited you, you're not even getting any of it. Ten of Pentacles will be going to somebody else. Spirit, confirm or deny. What happened to the intuitive Kev? They didn't use their intuition. Rich girl. They went towards somebody they thought was more abundant. Somebody that had status. This is your divine masculine. And don't be fooled. A distorted, just because it's in the upright does not mean this person's not distorted. A distorted twin will do you dirty, just like a person who's a karmic. I don't believe that a person, just because they're your twin, is not going to do you harm. They can do you harm. Even if, because think about the destruction that a human does to themselves, right? They can gaslight themselves, manipulate themselves, self-harm. Why would they not do that to you? Just because you're their other half. I don't believe that for a second. This person tried to do you dirty. all for selfish means. They wanted a 10 of Pentacles. They wanted it all. So they went towards a person with status. Instead of you. And it was done in like in the dream state, in the 5D. It was done in like astro travel, even trying to leap time. Yeah, something with time manipulation, or like, what is it when you move on to another timeline? Timeline travel, trying to, yes, switch, like go back in time and switch. I don't know what it was. It was really ridiculous. And it was something that maybe never was done before. And it's something that Spirit put the, like I said, kibosh, stop sign, you ain't doing it, and redirected this person. And really, maybe even took away a gift that they had of being able to do that traveling. Yep. This was a karmic feminine that they chose. Yep. I feel like there was a veil. They were trying to, a spiritual veil of time travel, of time jumping, Akashic records. It had a lot to do with the spiritual and future projections of prosperity. They were trying to, like, in the shadows, travel through the shadows to get to the Akashic records, to change a person's destiny, to change their destiny to be prosperous. And Spirit was like, no, thank you. Yeah, now they're imprisoned. Spiritual prison. Yep. They felt it right away. I feel like they felt the backlash right away. Divine Feminine in the reverse. Yeah, they tried to make a person who was their karmic into a Divine Feminine. And that wasn't going to happen. Wasn't going to happen. Spirit was like, hell to the no. Ice Queen. You could be guarded against this person. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Gemini is super important in this. Yeah, there's an awakening here. Maybe an awakening 47 and it's 10, so it's completion. There's an awakening to this person that they're not getting their 10 of Pentacles with you. Family is here. This could be a person that you had a family with, or you would have had a family with this person. You would have had happiness. You would have had everything you needed. They would have had everything they needed, I should say, with you. But they made the wrong choice. And they worked with a karmic feminine to try to deceive a starseed, or try to deceive you into thinking that you weren't going to have this prosperity, that would belong to somebody else. But now, karma, in the good way, karma is coming for you in a good way, because you're the earth angel. You didn't do anything wrong. They try to spread a false narrative that you weren't the one. A distorted community, toxic posse, as they like to say, and a love spell that somebody tried to put towards maybe your person. This could have been chemical, like I said, chemically induced, or alcohol, or something in the ethers, where they try to bind themselves. The karmic tried to bind themselves to this twin so that they could get the prosperity. So it was actually, they were bamboozled by this karmic, but they initiated this false narrative. They went along with it. They tried to make a hoe a housewife. They tried to change future predictive blessings for you based on lucid dreaming or chemicals. Yes, it was something where it was like a ceremony, a binding ceremony. They're bound. They're bound to this now. They can't get out of it. Yeah, they can't. They try to, like, change your life. Obsessions here in the reverse. They tried to make you obsessed with them, control you in some way. They had two people. They were playing games, and they lost. Spirit said they lost. No divinity. Divinity is in the reverse. Yeah. They needed to be taught a lesson. They're feeling the emotional pain of their choices now. You were their twin flame. But they were in a relationship with somebody else and they were looking for money. Right here, actual money. They could be with a priestess or they could be a priest working their dark magic. And they got caught with their fingers in the cookie jar trying to be a rich man. Their ancestors are ashamed of them. Their ancestors stopped them because it was going to destroy their family line, what this person did. The distant future would have been affected by it. They lost their gifts. They played with their gifts and they lost. Look at this. Mentally and emotionally unstable now. This person's suffering. They're being punished by the universe. They're being punished for what they did because it was abuse. It was abuse in the worst damn way. To go up against their twin, to go up against their spirit guides, to go up against the universe itself, thinking that they knew better or that they had the right, even if they did have gifts. But now they're emotionally unstable. Whatever chemicals they were using has altered them in some way. They could have addictions now. They could be tied to that. But they've stabbed themselves seeking money and fame and fortune or whatever the hell they were looking at, trying to change, make this karmic feminine, elevate this karmic feminine to your stature, and that you weren't. They destroyed the family line. The family line is cursed on some way, and they had to step in, the ancestors, before they irrevocably ruined the family line. They're embarrassed by this person, the ancestors are embarrassed and turn their back on this person. They're not protected anymore. Yep. They ruined the connection between you and them, and you're on a different timeline, and they're going to have to sit this one out, is what Spirit's saying. Sit it out. Go back on the karmic wheel. They realized what they did was wrong, and maybe it was in an altered state that they were doing it. The Spirit's not going to, no, Spirit's saying that's not an excuse. You made a choice. People can say, oh, they're under the influence. You can be under the influence and still know better. You know what I'm saying? Know what you're doing. The King of Pentacles, the Fool. The King of Pentacles, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. This was a person that had financial success, but they wanted to ensure that their material comfort was long-term. They wanted to invest in somebody that was going to give them long-term financial stability. They were fooled. Ten of Cups is here as well. Happiness. They were looking for it all. They were looking for happiness. They were looking for abundance. So they lost out. All right. Any other cups, Spirit? Any other cards? Any other cups? The hell? All right. And this is putting them in a very emotional state, this person, because they realize their mistake. And it's too late. Nine of Pentacles. You're moving on to your prosperity. You're going to have your abundance with or without this person. Spirit is going to bless you. Yep, bless you with a person that's going to come in, a high-level soulmate, somebody that's going to love you, somebody that's not going to play games with you or use you for your resources. Three of Pentacles, you're going to collaborate with somebody else. The Lovers, you're going to make a choice of a person, maybe not somebody that's your usual type, but somebody that is going to love you. Judgment, yeah. The universe has made their decision. Okay, and it's for your betterment. And maybe you think about this person and what could have been. I feel like this person does the same thing with you. But this is not going to be a collaboration. And you're going to have to let go of the what ifs. You know, because this person has a mindset that they need to break. Yeah, Justice is here as well. Ten of Swords. They backstab you. You know, the things that when people leave our lives for reasons unknown that we don't know of and we're not informed of, it's because of the dirty deeds that they've done. that we're not in rooms that we're privy to of all of the fuck shit that goes on. The spirit is. And your ancestors, your spirit guides, and the universe itself was protecting you from this person. That's why I say when people say, oh, a twin flame wouldn't do something like that, they absolutely would when they're destroyed. Let's see who it is. Aquarius is here, Leo, Sagittarius. Let's see, I had that last time. Spirit, give me who these possible players could be. Aquarius again, Virgo, and Aries. Okay. But stay on your path. Everything happens for a reason. Reasons that we may not be sure of at the time, or we may not be, I don't know, like we may question. But always understand that the universe has your back. Your spirit guides are there for you, and they're not going to turn you in a direction that's going to be harmful to you. We're the ones in our distortions, in our imperfections, that turn and make choices and go against our better judgment. It's not the universe, it's not God that does that to us. Just know that. I know there's a lot, it's very easy to blame an invisible force that you're not physically seeing and they can't defend themselves, but it's not God who does harm to you. It's our own decisions, our own imperfections, our own self-worth issues. There's so much that's involved in that. This person got themselves, their hands caught in the cookie jar because of their own bad choices, but also their own feelings of self-worth is tied to money and materialism and prosperity, and not what's truly important, love. They need to change, but they are nowhere near ready, and spirit has made their justice and judgment. They're in spiritual jail. They're separated from you for a reason. That's all I have for you today in Empress Aries 888. Please like and subscribe and join my tribe, because I would love to have you as part of my soul tribe. Till next time, be safe out there, my friends. Be blessed.